How much you getting on these?
The DS and Wii are 10, and the PS3 is 15, and then the Xbox and PS2 are 5.
Hmm.
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Emceemur, and welcome back once again to another episode of Flea Market Flippin'. Hey, before we get started, if you have not already done so, I'm going to need you to go ahead and drop a like on this video, and if you haven't already done so, I'm going to need you to subscribe to the Emceemur Show. Be a part of what we got going on here. You know, today started out really slow and cold. I mean, there was some really bad weather the night before, and here I am looking around today, and there's just nobody here. There's a lot of tables just shut down. It just seems like a lot of people didn't show up today.
It's wet. Oh.
Might want to check it and check them, make sure they in there.
Yeah, there wasn't nothing in it.
Aside from just one comically overpriced reseller table I ran into, the only thing gaming related I'm even seeing today is this Wii Guitar Hero guitar sitting here. And yeah, it's here and it's in decent shape, but to make matters worse, it's a knockoff. It isn't even the actual, you know, name brand. So that's kind of a bummer, but okay, at least we're seeing something gaming related.
Can I give you $1 for it?
Sure.
Alright.
I offered $1 and she didn't bat a lash. I'm sure she didn't want to take it home. Somehow these things are still selling. Even the knockoffs, I checked. These are bringing, you know, somewhere in the range of about 20, 25 bucks. I got a perfect box to ship this thing in. I mean, I don't even really want this thing. I definitely don't want to carry it around all day, but man, again, starting out slow. Gotta put some gas back in the car, right?
I put his name on that one right there, J.R. somebody.
Okay, now this may be something. Okay, I know it's not game related, but I mean, I find things that are not game related at the flea market sometimes, and there's potential for profit there. As some of you may know, I do have a second channel called Sports Card Hub. I have gotten back into sports card collecting after many years of not fooling with it. And I'm starting to see a lot of sports card stuff popping up at the flea market. Most of it's junk, but every so often you see something that kind of makes you think. Now here we've got somebody's basketball card collection, 92, 93, and then there's a book from 96 and 97. All right, now there could be some value here, and I don't want to not take a look at this.
But I've got a storage unit, and that's where I get this stuff. Same thing on them records. I don't know one record from another.
I mean, dude's got the books labeled, and he's saying the rookies are in here. And, you know, I don't have time to sit here and go through it all right here, but I mean, Shaq rookies, Kobe rookies, I mean, you know, judging from the time period, there could be some value here.
Same thing about it. Might be worth something, might not be.
Yeah, I'll give you $5 for it.
She only wants $5 on the first binder and offers $5 on the other one too. And yeah, I'm in. I mean, worst case, I'm out $10 on some junk wax, and it'll be fun to look through. But best case, we may find some rookies in here worth grading them, and they look like they're in decent shape. We may have some substantial profit here. Now, on the hub, we may take a much deeper dive into what's in here, but I gotta tell you, if there's anything of value in here, it's gonna be cool to look at on the show. This may be the biggest score of the day. There's no games so far today, which is just so uncommon. So I'm walking over to High Dollar Harriet's table out of desperation. Now, I didn't name her that. Y'all did. I saw it in the comments. She didn't have it. I don't know her name, but that's what we're calling her. High Dollar Harriet. And she's letting me back behind the table again to look in the bags. And she's got the hatch of her SUV there just loaded in games. We got to find something, right?
Escape on the loose.
I got some more here if you want to see some.
Yeah, cool. How's everything going today?
Good. More games. I got plenty of games.
Yeah, you do.
I got more at home.
Where do you find all these things?
Well, I used to have an antique shop. They bring me to me, so.
Oh, okay.
But I closed.
See what you got here. How much you getting on this one?
You can have for $6.
$6, huh?
I get right to digging and I pull out a Top Gun Combat Zones for the Gamecube. I've always wanted to play this one. That's a Top Gun game. It might be cool. I don't know. It is complete, and she's at $6 on it, which means we could probably get it for $5. I'm hoping we can get a few games for $5 each if we can bundle them up. We got to find them first, though. There's a Time Crisis game here for PS2. The box art has just been all messed up by the morning dew, moisture damage, which I hate to see, but the game is in good condition. Definitely in the maybe pile. There's an NFL Blitz 2003 for Gamecube here. Killer game. It's missing the manual, but I think I have a manual for this game at home. And it's a sports game, right? She's probably not going to be that attached to that, so it's very saleable. The Blitz series is popular. You don't need me to tell you that. I think this is going in the stack. Yanya Caballista, a truly bizarre skating game. Uncommon, and this is the second time I've actually seen it in the wild, and once again it doesn't have a manual with it, which is disappointing, but yeah, here it is, and it's definitely not worthless. We may have a little stack here. I'm looking to get 4 for $20 in Bolt. We don't want to waste too much time here, but we may have a deal to make. There were a handful of others I could have considered too, but just decided against for, condition reasons. You got to be really careful when you're seeing damage in so many different ways on so many different copies of things, whether it be scratches, moisture damage, it just slays the value. So I think I've got a decent stack here. The question is she going to be willing to deal again?
These are kind of roughed up, but I mean, I'd be interested in these. Would you take 5 a piece for them?
Okay.
I'm gonna do that.
It's not beat up, but it's good.
Yeah, that's cool.
So we got it. That 4 for $20 deal, right? That rapport, like we talk about. We start talking, we start doing some business, and we're continually breaking more and more ice, which is great. Because eventually, you could do it every time when you see something they have that you want. And sometimes you get to know these sellers so well, they'll even hold stuff back for you, and that's fantastic, because then you don't have to worry about somebody else beating you to it. Top Gun has always been a Nintendo staple, hasn't it? And yet the Nintendo version of this game didn't come out until a year after the PS2 version did. But something just feels right about a Top Gun game played on a Nintendo console. And while this game isn't the most impressive thing I've ever seen graphically, it handles okay and it may be worth a playthrough. I need to put a new case around this game, but the disc and the manual are in great shape. I paid $5 for this game, but comps are all over the place on it. It's really only about a $10 game at retail, so no real profit to be made here, but I don't know, I kind of just wanted to try it out. I can always sell it for $10 and get my money back out of it. NFL Blitz games have always seemed nutty to me. They're over the top on purpose for the sake of being arcadey. You've played them. Powerbomb football, we used to jokingly call it, because they're throwing each other all over the place on the field. It's crazy. But these are fun games. And I'm almost positive I have a manual put back for this one. I have half a mind to keep this and play it too. I mean, my Gamecube collection could stand to be a little more extensive. I've got $5 in this game though, and complete, it will sell for $15. The Time Crisis games are neat. Not really my thing, but it's plenty of other people's things. They sell really well. Normally I find these in pretty good condition too, but this copy, it lost the war against the morning dew, day after day, after months on end, on Harriet's table. The box art is waterlogged and wrinkled up like an elephant's ball sack. It's flaking apart in chunks, and it just kills me to see it, but it did win one battle. The battle to protect the game disc and manual. They're in great condition. And with $5 in this, we're still in good position, as even disc-only copies bring upwards of $20. Yanya Caballista. It's as weird as the day is long, I'll tell you. Another game requiring a separate component in the little skateboard you get that you attach to the controller sticks, and then it gets turned sideways and ends up handling like a wet sack of potatoes underwater. I don't know. This game probably is a lot of fun if you were to stick with it long enough to get decent at it, but poop on it. We got $5 in this one, and it's missing the manual, but that's okay. It's uncommon, and it should still sell for about $15. And we're talking about rapport with sellers, right? And I'm telling you, it's so important. Because right after that, I'm walking, I'm still not seeing anything else. And a seller I've done a lot of business with just pops up in one of the aisles and grabs a hold of me and says, man, you got to come with me. I got something you really need to take a look at.
Super in the box.
It sure is, isn't it?
And I got shit ton of games in here.
And woo-hoo-hoo, he was not lying. He's rolling up on me with that boxed Super Nintendo. I mean, my goodness, where has this thing been for the last few weeks?
Looking for
That's what's up.
That's who I'm looking for.
How much you gonna get on this thing?
I'm acting $60.
60?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would do that.
$60, done. Nothing else to talk about. That's more than a fair price on this thing. I mean, the box is weathered, I mean, on the corners and on the edges, and you know, that's to be expected to a degree, but still, $60, that's a great price for a boxed Super Nintendo. We're doing it. He had a lot of other stuff for me to look at too. He had an N64 system that I actually ended up passing on due to condition issues. We were a little too far apart on it, and unfortunately we were a little too far apart on the games that he had for sale as well, which I wasn't anticipating, but he did have two N64 cartridges in great shape that he was willing to sell separate of the console. Now I just need to bundle those up with the boxed Super Nintendo.
So we're at 60 on this.
Yes, sir.
I got 71 here.
Okay.
Would you do this and the two 64 games for 71?
Yes.
Okay. I think that's what I want to do.
Okay.
So we settled on $71 for the boxed Super Nintendo and the two N64 cartridges. Fantastic buy there, great deal on those. And as far as the other stuff that we were just too far apart on, we talked about maybe renegotiating on those things on down the line. And that probably will happen. You know, if you're too far apart on something with a seller, it's okay to leave it with them. And you know, maybe next time when you revisit it, the price is a little lower if they still have it. You know, you don't want to overpay for something just because it's a slow day either. You know, you want to make sure that you're in everything right. But I was thrilled to get what I got, thrilled to see some retro, thrilled to get a boxed Super Nintendo. And you know, walking around with that thing is so weird because everybody's got eyes on you, right? Everybody's looking. I mean, you'd probably get less attention walking around buck nude in this place than you would walking around with a boxed Super Nintendo. It really is a thing to behold. I mean, it's just such an iconic, you know, package. You can't miss it. But yeah, it's okay to call it right here for the day as far as the hunt. There just wasn't anything else to look at, but we did actually get some pretty cool stuff. So today's haul consisted of these cool basketball card sets. Still got to do some appraisal here, but just seeing the names and the card designs from this era, it's super nostalgic for me and I absolutely love it. We're in the green here no matter what. Then we got this Wii guitar and a short stack of games that, despite condition issues, were definitely worth what we paid, and we continue to build on a business relationship with a seller we know has a lot of inventory. Then we finally see some retro, but what are these items doing in the market today? And are there condition issues with any of the hardware here that will impact the bottom line? More on that, as well as more pickups in next week's exciting episode. So that's going to do it for this week. I mean, not the biggest week of all time as far as quantity, But we did get some pretty cool things. I mean, a boxed Super Nintendo, you don't see that every day. And we got it for a decent price. We got some decent games for decent prices. And that basketball card collection, I mean, I'm really excited to thumb through that because, I mean, that's the hot sport to collect for right now. As far as value goes, we don't know what rookies are in that thing, if anything. There's not always time to look through everything, you know, when you're at the market and you're looking at things. Sometimes you just got to make a buy and rock and worry about it later because you may lose out on it. People snatch things right out from in front of you. You got to just grab it and go. Make your best educated guess on your investments before you make them, and that can be challenging. But yeah, I feel like we got some really cool stuff today. Updates on some of this stuff in future update episodes for sure. But yeah, I'm looking forward to looking through all of it, and I'm looking forward to more adventures real soon. You know, there's going to be some. We're nowhere near the end of this series. There's no end in sight. There's always more adventures to go on, more retro stuff to unearth, and I'm excited to have all of you along on the journey with me. There's just so much more to come. I hope that you liked this video. I hope that you're going to drop a like on this video. If you have not already done so, I hope that you're going to subscribe to the Emceemur Show. Be a part of our nation because we're rising up all the fantastic things we do right here on the show. You need to be a part of it. Make sure that you smash that notification bell so you're always the first to know when new content goes live. Content just like this flea market hunting video right here. And share this video with a friend on social media or wherever you hang out. Let people know what we're doing here. There's just so much more to come. Again, more adventures coming real soon, and I just hope that you're enjoying it each and every time. Emceemur signing off for this fantabulous episode, and I will see each and every one of you again on the next one.